And welcome guys back to another video. As you can see behind me, we are in the new house, and if you didn't catch the last video, this might come as a bit of a surprise to you, but yeah, the last video was me, recording our day-to-day process of moving in, and it was really chaotic. But today's video, we're gonna be talking about the waitlist decisions for colleges. So what this means is that for schools that didn't accept or reject me, so in other words, waitlisted me, I'm gonna be reacting to the decisions they made after the waitlist. Now, I wasn't actually gonna make this video because, well, 4 schools had waitlisted me, and the results were coming out really slowly, one by one. And spoiler alert, UCI's came out really late, like 5 months overdue. If I didn't get UCI's response, I was like, that's it, I'm not gonna make the video. But then several days ago, I think it was like 2 days ago, UCI finally posted their update to the waitlist. So I was like, oh, I guess I have no other choice but to make this video. So here we are. Berkeley
thank you.
has told me.
이거 흔들리지 않았나 몰라.
Oh my god, I got accepted to Berkeley. 뭐 유시 버클리 붙었어.
누가?
나.
진짜 대박.
Handheld camera. This is the most budget you can get. Notre Dame has released their result. Again, I got into Berkeley, but didn't because I don't want to. And now we just log into Notre Dame and see what happens. Cool, thank you. You, till the end, you are like this. Why are you like this? Jesus Christ. Well, this is happening. Just got my email from Rochester. Very coincidental. I wasn't planning for this. What do I expect? I mean, I already have somewhere to go, so not a big deal. Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. Accepted to Stern, rejected by Rochester. Accepted to UCLA and Berkeley, but not Rochester. Cool. 이렇게 쓸 리가 없어. 왜? 내 생각엔 너무 늦어져가지고 리젝트 한 것 같거든. UCI도 100% 떨어진 것 같아. Wow. Hold on, let's see. UCI 결국 떨어졌네. 야, 대박이다. 결국 한 5개월? 그렇지? 5개월 기다리고 떨어졌어. 학기가 거의 일주일 후면 시작하잖아. 거의 그렇다 보면 되잖아. 그러니까 지금 합격해도 no point. 그러니까 리젝트한 거라 봐.
이번엔 씁쓸하다 아기지?
되게 남들 붙는 학교만 못 보고 남들이 못 붙는 학교 내가 붙었네. Yeah, those reactions were a bit casual because I wasn't even gonna make this video as I just said. So it was really casual, low budget and stuff. But now that the reactions are over, I kind of want to talk about the aftermath, like the general outcome and my thoughts about it, like a retrospective. So overall, I applied to a total of 26 schools and campuses. And among that, I got accepted to Babson College, Boston University, Carnegie Mellon, NYU, Stern, UCLA, UCSD, Berkeley, University of Toronto, the 2 campuses, which is Mississauga and Scarborough, and Western Ontario University. So that's 11. And the rest I got rejected from, which includes Brown, Columbia, Cornell, Duke, MIT, Northeastern, Princeton, Stanford, that's a lot, UCI, Notre Dame, UPenn, Rochester, USC, WashU, and Yale. It's 15, which obviously adds up to 26. So if you look at it from the big picture, I got accepted to less than half of the schools I applied to, which is kind of depressing if you take a closer look at it, but it's not really a big deal because I applied to a lot of Ivy schools anyways, and let's be honest, I was not going to an Ivy school. Don't tell Cornell, but I didn't want to go to Ithaca. Cornell, why do I even bother checking Cornell? No. Yeah, perfectly fine with that one. Still though, I think I got into some pretty fair schools though. Like NYU, obviously, Berkeley, UCLA, Carnegie Mellon, BC. Those aren't bad schools at all. Like obviously they're really good schools. It's just that I just got rejected by these huge Ivy schools and plus MIT and USC. And majority of that actually had to rub it all in on March 26th because that's Ivy Day and they just want to kill you, right? And it's a complete rejection, yeah. Cool, yeah. Okay. Yeah, cool. Insult to injury and just rub salt on the wound because that's kind of what it felt like if you watched the part 2 of my college decisions reactions. It's like an unboxing, but full of bad products. I'm not sure if you noticed, but yeah, I was dying a lot inside, especially when I opened the USC one because, well, I wanted to go to USC because I already have a sibling who goes there, and I was like, if I stay in California and if I go to a same school that my sibling goes to, it's great. I mean, it's gonna be great. Like, it's in California, how bad can it be? And it's USC, Marshall, it's a good school. When I saw that rejection letter, that part of me really just died inside. Now, I know I edited some of that out in the actual video because, you know, it's kind of meant to be lighthearted, the video overall in general, like you can see from the crazy edits.
Yep. On the bright side, since USC's over, I don't need to look forward to anything else.
But if you look at the raw footage...
Oh my god. That's sad. This is a complete rejection. Damn. I need to download this again. You know what's up. You know what's up. Okay, hold on. University of Southern California. Rejection letter. Oh, that hurts. On the bright side, since USC's over, I don't need to look forward to anything else.
You can actually see me kind of dying inside and like being really disappointed that I didn't get into USC. And when the whole Ivy bomb kind of dropped in my ass and just completely rejected me overall, that was just a really big injury. Was it an injury? I mean, I wasn't really offended by it, obviously. I had very low expectations from the start, which is why I didn't expect myself to get into NYU Stern.
Yeah, thank you. Wait. What? I got accepted to Stern?
And to be honest, I still can't really believe it, even 5 months after. Still don't know how that happens, but yeah, March 26th was not a good day. Here's what I find most interesting though. So let's say there's a range of schools that you go to, like, so there's a top tier, obviously, like the Ivy League, NYU Stern, because we're talking about finance here, for me especially, as MIT and all that. And then there's the middle tier, kind of below that, and there's the lower tier. I don't want to really call it lower because that might kind of sound offensive, but we have to call it that, comparatively lower tier. So if we're looking at that range, just because you have good grades doesn't mean you get into every school. Now, I kind of learned it firsthand. Getting into every single school that you apply to kinda is hard because, well, for me, what it seems like is I got accepted to the middle tier, the middle high tier, maybe even the boundary of that. I got accepted to that region a lot, which means I didn't get accepted by the lower region or the super high Ivy League region. And I think I have a theory for this. You know, some people I talked to also kind of agreed with this theory because it kind of makes sense. Like if you, let's say you have like a 4.0 GPA, which I didn't have, I would love to have had that. You have like 4s or 5s, maybe even all 5s on maybe the 10 plus APs you've taken, like a 1600 SAT, which I also didn't have. But let's say you had a great application, let's just say. Lower tiers not gonna accept you because yes, they would love you, but they are gonna assume that you applied to higher schools. And if higher schools accept you, because obviously you have these great schools, higher schools are gonna accept you. They're not gonna go, like the students with the high grades and stuff, they're not gonna go to lower tier. They're obviously gonna go to high tier. So the lower schools are like, you know what? Let's not accept this guy in the first place because we know higher schools want him, and if higher schools do want him, he's gonna go to higher schools, not the lower tier. So that's why students don't really get accepted to lower schools if their grades are like super high. So just because you're really good at studying or like you have super high grades or scores doesn't mean you automatically get accepted to the lower tier. On the other end, if your scores aren't that good enough, obviously you're not gonna get to Ivy League or the top tier, which is kind of like me. So I wasn't obviously super smart enough to get into the top, but the lower schools obviously didn't want me because I got, let's say I got rejected by, well, UCI. That's really unique for me because I applied to 4 UCs, UCLA, UC Berkeley, UCI, and UCSD, San Diego, and I got accepted to 3 out of 4. You can guess which one rejected. I heard it's really hard for people to get into UCLA or Berkeley, and it's almost never both at the same time. Like, that just rarely happens. And for me, the fact that I got into both UCLA and Berkeley at the same time kind of blew me away as well as other people because they were like, that's really rare. And the fact that UCI, the city I live in, didn't accept me was kind of strange because I was like, wow, I got accepted to the 2 highest UCs in the state, but UCI rejected me. Not only that, I got a full scholarship for Berkeley, which was, again, that's really crazy. And again, as I told you, if I didn't get into NYU Stern, I would have gone to Berkeley because they were the other school to offer me a really, really big scholarship. So yeah, that was really weird. The fact that UCI rejected me when UCLA accepted me, UC Berkeley accepted me, and even offered a scholarship, although after the waitlist, which is even weirder. Who accepts a person and gives them a full scholarship after they've been waitlisted? And also I've been accepted to San Diego, which was like one of the first schools that I heard back from, but didn't really think much about that. Talking about a bit of the lower, kind of mid-low tier, let's say, well, there's Notre Dame, I guess, you know, comparatively in the range of schools that I applied to. There's Notre Dame, there's Rochester, and WashU? I'm not really sure where WashU stands. I think WashU's like middle, isn't it? So when I first heard Rochester, or I guess Notre Dame, waitlisting me back in March, by the way, I really thought it was over because I was like, if low schools are not, you know, accepting me, I have no chance for high schools. And this was before I had that whole theory of if you're too good enough, lower schools aren't gonna accept you. Also Northeastern, like you got rejected from Northeastern in like the first few days of college results. Like that's about game over as you can get. So that's what I really thought. I'm gonna be honest, I was a tiny bit scared that I wouldn't get into any college. And my friends called me crazy for that. They were like, yo, you have such good grades and a really good SAT, and you took a lot of APs, like 7 in junior year. Like, who does that? And they tried to comfort me, obviously, but I was like, you know, even back in March when the first schools started to roll out and I didn't get accepted to even like Rochester or Notre Dame, I thought, wow, I am not gonna go to college. It's all over. My friends, again, they called me crazy for that because they didn't believe a thing I said. And when I told them I was gonna go to NYU Stern, they were like, you know, we told you that you were gonna go to a good school. Overall, I'm very satisfied at how this whole 2020 college applications turned out because, let's face it, it was really challenging in the time of the virus that we're living in, and I sure am glad I'm not becoming a senior of high school this year because wow, that would be a real pain in the ass. Because the second semester of senior year for me was really chill, like because it was such an unprecedented moment. Like no one expected a virus to just reign the earth, did you think? So finals got canceled, APs, well, they were online and they become much, much easier, which was how I was able to get a 4 on AP Micro. Everything just became so much easier. And I'm glad I'm kind of going into college as a freshman for this year, not as a senior in high school because it's gonna be so hard. Can you imagine doing finals online? That's gonna kill you. I'm really glad at how things turned out, and I kind of think it was also a miracle because it was the last school to come out on March 30th, and before that came out, I was like, yep, I guess I'm going to Boston College. So we were looking at the curriculum, at the location of the school, the general, I guess, environments of the area, Boston, and NYU Stern came out, and it just changed everything, like my acceptance video would suggest.
I got accepted to Stern? This changes literally everything. Because I was thinking of going to Boston or Carnegie.
I don't know why I didn't apply to Harvard. I mean, I kind of should have, but I mean, at the time, obviously, there were so many essays to write, and I guess I didn't want to stress myself so much, but I don't know, I should have just done Harvard. I know I would have gotten accepted because, I mean, all of the Ivy Leagues that I applied to rejected me, but I mean, it would have been fun, you know? You get to say, I at least applied to Harvard. I guess that'll come in my graduate era. Talking about applications, was writing for 26 different schools / campuses difficult? At the time, I mean, kinda, yeah, it was kinda stressful because, I mean, you gotta balance it with schoolwork, especially as a senior. When you have this much schoolwork and you also have extracurricular activities. In my case, Science Olympiad was one because you have to be very devoted to it in order to perform well. So if you kind of just mash in extracurriculars with your schoolwork and then consider your university applications, of course it might sound really stressful. But thinking back at it, really wasn't. It's kind of like when I took 7 APs in junior year. Like at that time, it was that whole preparation time and even the test weeks. Of course it was challenging. Like 7 APs in a single year, it's no joke. Obviously it's gonna be really difficult. But looking back at it, when I'm like facing college this fall semester, looking back at it, I'm gonna say it wasn't actually that bad. You know, it was doable. Probably could have done 1, maybe 2 more if I didn't kill myself by then. So same with applications too. could have fit in Harvard. I low-key wish I really wrote Harvard because of kind of want to see what their essay topics were like, to be honest. But yeah, applications weren't that hard to write. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, and people are obviously gonna find it harder. And people on Instagram who watch my videos have asked me through DMs how I wrote my essays, and you know, how did I write the WAYYYY essay, because I mean that's their only one essay the school has, WAYYYY. And I've gotten YouTube comments, I've gotten Instagram DMs asking me about that, so I gave them my best advice that I could, and I really hope I helped them out. But yeah, applications, have fun with them. Don't write them too boringly, I guess. Just have fun with it, and if you look back at it, you'll be like, that wasn't so bad. Like, kind of what I'm like doing right now. But anyways, that's all I have to say for this video. I hope you enjoyed the waitlist decisions reactions, the 4 schools, total of them, that I made in this video. It was kind of a casual thing, so hope you enjoyed it, being a bit lighthearted. If you have enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment down below what you think or what you want to say, and of course subscribe to my channel for upcoming NYU vlogs, because I am going to be going to New York because the school's calling us in, and I want to go because classes, time zones, etc. So yeah, keep in touch with me for upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.